Three. Hello, wrestling fans. This is BrianB, and this is my co-host.
Big DJ.
And we are Video Wrestling News. However, we're still Video Wrestling News, but we made a slight change. I don't know if you can notice, but there's a new logo right here. We are now BWNtv, and that stands for Video Wrestling News. So in the coming months, and perhaps a little longer, you're going to see a lot more content from us, perhaps more channels, and a lot more video content coming directly from myself and Big Daddy J, because we want to expand VWN and make it into something bigger, and make it into a big place where wrestling fans want to come and join and watch and discuss everything pro wrestling. So this is kind of what we want to do. This is part of us expanding and growing. So look for more content, more updates in the coming weeks, months, and of course, hopefully years. So Big Daddy J, what do we got going on tonight?
Well, we got a little bit of Raw. We got some news, some heartbreaking news about some stuff. And we're going to talk about what happened on Raw. We're going to talk about the Night of Champions coming up. And just things about wrestling in general, man.
Nice. Of course, we love wrestling, so let's get started. All right, so Monday Night Raw took place. And the first thing that took place on Monday night was it opened up. Well, first we got to mention the fact that it was the season premiere of Monday Night Raw. So the fall season has begun for Raw, which means it's supposed to be a really good show going in, right? So as soon as this show kicked off, we got a really special present. And it was the steel cage match between Bray Wyatt and Chris Jericho. I don't know about you, but they definitely did not disappoint to me. I was very impressed with this match. A lot of good spots.
I wish they could have done that on like the first match they had together. They had more chemistry this go around, I think.
Yeah, you're right. You can tell, you can see the experience they have with each other now. Their matches are getting better. Kind of weird ending, a bit surprising, I guess. That was the goal, was to surprise us a little bit, something different. You know?
Yeah, he kind of just fell out of the ring, you know, like he's like, I'm gonna fall to the floor.
Yeah, I was a little bit confused. I was like, did he do that on purpose, or he just fall and then like play it off well? I don't know, but it actually, in the end, thinking about it, it was different. So, yeah, all in all, still a good match.
We saw Bray Wyatt pick up the victory. Now that he won the feud, that's the end of the feud.
Exactly. For those that don't understand storytelling in wrestling and feuds and rivalries, when the person that ends the feud is basically who wins the feud. All right. So this is basically what it is to really put someone over. This is the process. So Chris Jericho put Bray Wyatt over. That's kind of.
I called it like a couple months ago. I said that this feud would go with Jericho win a match, and then the rest of it be Bray Wyatt, and that's how it went.
Correct. Yeah, Bray. Yeah, you were right on that. And I think you're going to be right about another prediction, but we'll talk about that maybe later. I don't know, but yeah, you called that one for sure. You definitely called that one. And hats off to both of them. I believe this is one of a few last matches left on Chris Jericho's 2014 contract. So that's pretty cool. That he had a really great match with Bray Wyatt. That one spot they did where Jericho jumped off the top and gave the crossbody.
Oh,
wow, that was awesome. And then good.
Chris Jericho's body was so red. Did you see how red he was?
Yeah, I don't know. It was like a mixture of tan plus pain. And they did a good job with the spot with the leg getting slammed by the door.
Yes.
I didn't even see that coming. As soon as he.
It looked like he just barely pushed it.
Yeah, I know. And it was real quick too. But man, that looked brutal. And then of course the Sister Abigail in the middle of the ring after the match. Wow, strong statement. Bray is definitely the winner of the feud. The reason we know the feud's over for now, because Jericho's already moving on to somebody else. And of course, we'll talk about that in a second too. But yeah, Bray Wyatt getting over on that one. So hats off to both men. Chris Jericho, of course, got carried to the back, or helped to the back because his leg got injured, supposedly, by Bray Wyatt. So after Chris Jericho got the Sister Abigail there, we were treated to Dolph Ziggler, who came out and they were kind of doing like a mock of the celebrity photo scandal that's been happening lately. So it was pretty cool to kind of see that, the reference to pop culture. So as we know, we have Dolph Ziggler, who comes out dressed pretty nice, as always, looking fresh and fly. And he introduces some photos of The Miz in some pretty compromising positions. It was pretty funny. What were your thoughts on that whole segment with Miz and Damien Mizdow and
Well,
Dolph Ziggler?
honestly, when they showed his pictures on the Titantron, I could literally say I about peed myself. Actually, I did feel a little tickle, come down my leg. Anyways, that was like the funniest thing.
Even the faces him and Sandow made in those pictures were hilarious. Like,
They did a great job on that.
I was cracking up, man. Like, what are they doing? But it was, yeah, I agree.
I'm really looking for this feud between Miz and Dolph.
Yeah, this is I kind of agree because, to be honest, I didn't really care about this feud, but now I'm kind of entertained by it. So I'm like, okay, I want to see where these two are going with this. So, and I like the addition of Damien Mizdow to the whole thing too. Pretty cool. So that whole segment took place, and then we were treated with the very beautiful Natalya and Rosa taking on AJ Lee and Paige in a tag team diva match.
It's more for the feud that's going on between AJ and Paige, I think. It was a good match, though. I mean, a real good match.
Yeah, you're right. It was all about the storyline in this one for sure.
But we saw the tag by AJ to get in the ring and get the win. Her and Paige won, but she grabbed the title belt and kissed it, and then Paige took the belt back. And I swear to God, I thought she was gonna make out with that title. If it would have been a Porto, she would have been all over that, ripping that belt.
It's kind of interesting storyline between these two. I can't really remember the last time I saw a storyline between two wrestlers or divas where it was like this pretend like you respect each other kind of thing. I don't know. I can't. It doesn't come to mind, but I'm enjoying this one between these two, and I can't wait till they finally explode on each other and really go at it.
They
of course,
both
they've great matches already.
Trish and Lita. That's
exactly. It's this generation's Trish and Lita. For those of you who don't know who Trish Stratus and Lita are, please go on the WWE Network or on YouTube and look them up and check out some of their awesome matches together, because those two definitely set a standard for the women's / divas division over the years.
they're the only women that actually had a main event match on Raw.
Correct. Trish Stratus and Lita are the only two women in WWE history to ever main event Monday Night Raw. Hopefully, we can do that again soon. And I think they had high ratings on that one too, as well. So after that whole segment, and after that match, AJ Lee, he gets the kiss blown to her by AJ after kissing the title, and that's kind of the end of that. So it's all about the storyline, like you said. And then we're joined backstage with Chris Jericho, and he's in the trainer's office, getting his knee checked on. Randy Orton comes in. All of a sudden, he just starts hitting him in the knee a bunch of times. Then he says, sorry, but it's the season premiere. He walks away. Kind of interesting. And practically almost immediately, they announced that these two will have a match at Night of Champions. So that's going to be an awesome match too. Those two probably going to have match of the night, to be honest. But I do have high hopes for Brock and Cena. We'll talk about that. So that's kind of what happened there. Now I'll let you talk about this next segment because this is probably one of the best segments of the night. When, of course, the man who helped put 1 in 21, Paul Heyman, comes out and delivers a scathing promo of John Cena. And what happened?
Awesome. I love that segment. And I thought for a second we were going to see the heel turn of John Cena leading up to the Night of Champions, but it didn't happen. And he told Paul Heyman that he will see him next week to fight, and that Brock better be there. If he's not, then he's going to get Paul Heyman and whoop him. Actually, he said ass, a couple times. But, I mean, the whole segment was awesome. If you missed it, go and find it on YouTube or go on the network for $9.99.
Yes, $9.99.
We were sitting there watching Raw the other night, right? And we counted how many times they said $9.99. But we stopped. But the final count that we came with was 18 times they mentioned the network for $9.99.
That was probably within the first hour.
That was in the first hour.
Yeah, they're just hammering it home. I mean, actually, I think it's a smart move, and it's probably paying off a little bit for them. But
back to the segment.
Yeah,
John Cena really impressed me Monday night, and he was telling a story, and so was Paul Heyman, and it got to me. I wasn't too keen on this feud with Brock and John because, I mean, Brock Lesnar can actually work, and John kind of can't. But Brock's supposed to be a machine, so he can't really show that he can work. You know what I'm saying? So he's got to dominate people. So, I mean, after Monday night, I'm really looking forward to the match. I hope it's not one-sided again.
Yeah, same here. And I don't think it will be. I'm pretty sure John Cena wouldn't even let it be that way either. If he is, a good wrestler, I mean, behind the scenes, he probably wouldn't let himself get treated that way anyway, if he was smart. But, yeah, it's probably going to be a really great match this time around, and I'll give a prediction later, but I will give a prediction. That was a really awesome segment, really great promo by John. I call him John because we're friends now. And, so like you, I look forward to the feud as well. Right after that, we had Sheamus versus Seth Rollins with Cesaro. Cesaro had commentary on the commentary desk. Short match, though. I don't know about you, but did you see that absolutely horrid curb stomp?
It took Sheamus a few seconds to fall down, and it was like, what?
Oh, man.
I thought I had like a 20-second lag on the TV,
I rewinded it because I watched it on DVR, and I was like, did that just happen? So I rewinded it. I was like, oh, that's why the announcers got really quiet. Sheamus was like,
I was sitting there thinking about that whole match the whole time I was watching it. I was thinking about how Sheamus is Triple H's quote prodigy or whatever you want to call him. But so now it's Seth Rollins, I think. So we had two of Triple H's goons in the ring, which it was a great match until the end.
Yeah, it was a great match. They had a really quick one. It was all about really supporting Sheamus and Cesaro's little rivalry they got going on, which is pretty cool.
I like when Cesaro fell off the steps.
Say it again?
When Cesaro fell off the steps. When him and Sheamus were fighting over that title. Yeah. He kind of looked like he got aggravated or something. Like, that wasn't supposed to happen.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if maybe one of the two was ribbing the other. I don't know, but that was pretty funny. I was like, what just happened? Oh, man.
We saw him get in the ring with Sheamus at the end, and of course, he used his finisher. And
Liza.
It's gonna be a good match. I think they're gonna be brutal on each other. I guarantee you that.
Hardest, stiffest match of the night. Yeah, brutal, brutal. That's gonna be brutal, but it's gonna be good. Oh yeah, I agree. So next we had none other than the Bulgarian brute, the what's his name? The Russian mauler, Rusev, come out with Lana, and they deliver a wonderful little 3-4 minute promo,
Don't forget the national anthem.
complete with national anthem. It was great. She started really good too. She started out with how Baltimore, which is where they were, how the Declaration of Independence was written there, partially, or yeah, completely written there, and she made fun of that. And then yeah, they started playing the Russian national anthem, which was just great. Again, in a weird way, that kind of invigorated me back into his gimmick, because it was kind of getting stale for a while, I guess, I have to admit, but kind of reinvigorated again. And actually, I do enjoy the gimmick again, so I hope we keep his gimmick going as long as this whole Russian conflict thing is in the news. But of course, we both know how that's going to wind up. So. Anyway, speaking of jobbers, NXT came out and did a. Oh, sorry. NXT came out. Just joking, they're not jobbers, they're great wrestlers. Just joking for everybody out there. Sorry. So NXT, the wrestlers of NXT had a great tag team match. We had Tyler Breeze and Tyson Kidd, which has been a great tag team lately, and they had a great rivalry in NXT lately as well, taking on Adrian Neville and Sami Zayn. So what were your thoughts on this match?
I think when they step up to become the main card, if they're pushed correctly and given a good storyline gimmick, these guys will deliver, and they can be the best on the roster.
Oh yeah, he is awesome. He was a big name. I'm trying to remember what his name was before he got signed. He was really popular out here in California.
But the splash that he done, he is a flyer.
Yeah, he reminds me of AJ Styles, and slightly younger AJ. He could just go and move. It's unbelievable the stuff he can do.
Yeah, I can see that.
And the rest of them were great too. Look, Tyson Kidd has always been a really, really good wrestler. You know, just always had really bad gimmicks over the years. Unfortunately.
So after watching that match, it made me want to watch tomorrow night on the network for $9.99.
Yeah.
I really watch the NXT Takeover. Yeah, because now we also get to see a debut of who we've been promoting.
Kenta, yeah, he makes his in-ring promo debut.
The first CM Punk.
Correct.
The real CM Punk.
The real CM Punk. For those of you that don't know, he is the guy that CM Punk copied most of his repertoire from. Is that a bad thing? A little bit, but it's not illegal.
It's a thing in wrestling. Everybody copies everybody.
Everybody copies everybody. But it's even more respectable to make sure you acknowledge the person that you copied.
Well, if you really want to talk about that, I mean, for example, would be Ryback and Rob Van Dam. For people that don't know, before Ryback wore those tights that he wears now, he asked Rob Van Dam permission if he could wear those tights. And I think that's when Rob Van Dam was in TNA, and he asked him.
Correct. He was still in TNA, yeah.
So, I mean, that's respect right there, my friend.
Exactly, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. As long as you make sure people know who you're copying and why, because you're paying homage to their, the legacy they paid on the business. You can't just walk out dressed like Shawn Michaels and expect people to, think of you as really being like Shawn Michaels. You have to make sure you acknowledge that HBK gives you his blessing. But anyway, sorry. That makes sense, so... But yeah, so anyway, getting back, so yeah, we do get to see the in-ring promo debut for Kenta at NXT TakeOver 2 tomorrow night, Thursday night on the WWE Network. And you also get to see the winners of the tag team match from Raw, Sami Zayn and Adrian Neville as well. and of course the rest of them as well. I think that Xavier Woods might be on the show as well. I'm not sure, but those of you just check it out. Just like Big Daddy J said, it's $9.99. It's on the WWE Network. What excuses really do you have?
I think we should be getting paid for this. Keep on playing the network, you know.
Very true. Maybe one day we can work for him.
No, thank you.
No. So we had the next segment was one of the most highly publicized and promoted segments of throughout the week was Jerry Springer coming to settle the family feud.
Jerry.
So of course, everybody who knows Jerry Springer knows him for his TV show and knows that it's all about fighting and everything like that. So of course, this was the perfect fit for this feud and this segment. It went exactly like we thought it would.
Well, it's actually interesting because they brought JJ Bella, you know. He actually looked like a Bella. Was he? One of he's really kin to him, you know.
Yeah, they're all family. They showed the mom and
the dad from Total Divas.
Oh my gosh! Yes, I like how they're really pulling the family in. Of course, this is about Total Divas. That's why they use characters from Total Divas, such as the mom and the dad and AJ or JJ. Sorry, because this is all about Total Divas. This is what this whole feud's for, and this is what the network US or E wanted, which is fine. This is a win-win for WWE because they get to plug their storyline twice and plug their superstar twice, and make 4 new characters overnight. So, hey, look at that. But back to the segment. So, like I said, it goes exactly as planned. Of course, the Bellas, they come out individually. The first one, Nikki, I believe, comes out with new music now, which that's kind of interesting. And the other one has old music.
That's Brie.
Brie came out first with the new music, and Nikki keeps the older music.
Yeah, because last week on Raw, Stephanie said she couldn't use the Bella music anymore, so she got her own now.
Right. So it's good that they're finally separating those two and making, like distinct character development for the two of them, Kind of like, you don't want Matt and Jeff Hardy to be the same, you want them to be different. So that's kind of what we're getting with the Bella sisters, and I'm kind of glad. That's good for them, good for their careers, Because you can't always depend on your sister. Let's say she gets horribly injured or she can't work anymore. It's up to you. So if you already have an individual persona, an individual gimmick, you're okay. That people identify with. But anyway, sorry. Part of my little tirade there, my little rant. So this segment goes just like we thought it would. Jerry Springer tries to get these two to kind of think about it and settle, but it doesn't matter. Just like Big Daddy J said, they brought all the family members into this segment. And in the end, the two of them get into a fight, bringing down Jerry Springer. He hurts his leg a little bit. And then they get up. Jerry's still on the ground, on the mat. And then all of a sudden, JJ gets into the mix and he gets hit somehow. And then they're falling around, and everybody just kind of comes in and separates them. And then Jerry Springer gets put on a stretcher and wheeled out, and he gives the big thumbs up.
Don't forget about Stephanie Mann. She got involved.
Oh, and Stephanie. Stephanie came out. Yeah, she came out. Who did she hit somebody? Somebody hit her.
She hit Brie. She pulled Brie off Nikki.
That's right. She hit Brie.
So they were talking about that. Stephanie was the one that hurt Jerry Springer.
Yeah. That's right. Twisted his ankle. That's right. Yeah, interesting stuff. To be honest, personally, it's hard for me to get interested in the feud, which is why I know they're kind of partially doing this as well. They still haven't really brought me in yet, though, so I don't know. I was a little bored, but it did exactly what it needed. It got the ratings. It got, people watching, talking about it. So.
Yeah, and Jerry Springer's thumbs up.
Oh, so yeah, good for the ladies though. They're on TV and they're probably getting paid well. So, All right, so next segment was we had Los Matadores taking on Gold and Stardust. It's interesting how they're calling the team Gold and Stardust instead of Goldust and Stardust, right? But anyway, quick squash little match just to kind of get Gold and Stardust over, and it did exactly that. But of course, it was really all about what happened after the match, right?
Oh.
So as these two were backing their way up the ramp, which I thought was kind of weird, because I was like, dang, they still got the camera on and everything. They were like backing up slow, and then they did their pose, and then Goldust kind of gave it away because he was kind of like looking back, like waiting to see like for someone to hit him. So of course the Usos run out and hit him on the stage, knock them off, kind of get their revenge. So this means we haven't seen the last of these two, and of course they have this match at Night of Champions, which is going to be awesome. And I gotta say, Night of Champions is actually getting pretty stacked right now.
Oh yeah. And you know that's only like 2 hours for me. It's in Nashville, Tennessee.
Nashville. That's right, Nashville.
Can I make an appearance at Night of Champions? I wish.
Or if you know somebody that's going, give them a shirt with our logo on it or a sign. Or if you know any wrestlers who will be in the area, locals, you know how locals like to kind of be in that area, you know. If you know any of those guys, wink, wink.
I was trying to get tickets, you know, but they never put them on sale when I was wanting to get them, and I had the money for it.
Well, you might. You still got time. Well, yeah, you got two. Wait. It's this Sunday, right? 2 weeks. So you got 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks. That's right. All right. Well, if you can make it, if not, then no worries. We'll just talk about it right afterwards.
Oh yeah. Because I think we're gonna have new tag team champions in that match.
Yeah, I have a feeling we will too. And then I think we'll get eventually the rivalry we've always wanted. That we've been waiting for years. I hope not, though. I hate saying that.
Well, if they do, I hope Cody actually stays with Stardust.
There it is. Yeah, there it is. You called it. Fans, there it is. You heard it right there, live on VWNtv. The way this is going to happen is Star and Goldust are going to win the tag team gold sometime in the near future. And they'll be champions for a while. And then eventually they'll have some reason to break up again. And WrestleMania 31, hopefully as well, Goldust will retire and lay down for his brother, which is one of the most awesome things you can do in wrestling. So,
well, he's said he would lay down for his brother.
Yeah, he said he would, which is completely respectable, and which would be amazing for Cody's career. And to be honest, it's not like he needs it, but that would be amazing. And yeah, if he were to keep that gimmick, even better. Yeah. Speaking of good gimmick, Adam Rose is back on Raw in action. He took on Titus O'Neil.
Finally, we saw Adam Rose back.
Oh, I thought you said my name. Yeah, finally. So Adam Rose is back on Raw. He's been on Main Event and Superstars and other shows, even I think maybe SmackDown too. But
he was on our Raw last week.
Yeah, last week is when he showed back up, and now he's back on again, which means he might be in good graces again with somebody. I don't know. But I was kind of happy, so he's back on my Fave 5 again.
But if you fans missed Raw from last week, go back and watch Adam Rose's match with Titus O'Neil. The Bunny actually jumped in and helped. He actually attacked Heath Slater.
Right. Which turns out, I guess, this may end up having to be about the Bunny instead of Adam Rose now. So we may be seeing more from his Rosebuds in the near future in his matches. So that'll be pretty interesting.
This week was pretty interesting during their match because we saw the Bunny super kick Heath Slater, and then gets in the ring after Adam Rose wins and does a splash off top rope. 2 ties on them. So I predict that we'll eventually see a tag team match between those two.
And one turn?
I don't think so.
Ooh. No, Adam Rose, he doesn't want to be a lemon. Be a rosebud! Alright, so, just like Big Daddy J said, that ended with a splash from the bunny. So, yeah, we'll probably see more of those two together, hopefully, because they're entertaining. And then we had Roman Reigns backstage with Renee Young. He says he doesn't know what Randy Orton's up to, but he's got an antidote for the Viper. I like how he has no catchphrase whatsoever. So then, of course, we come back, and it's Randy Orton versus Roman Reigns, and another awesome match between these two.
I'm going to say something real quick.
Okay.
I know WWE's building Roman Reigns up, okay? But when it was the Shield, there was Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, and Roman Reigns. My 3 picks in order went to Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and Dean Ambrose, okay? Now, after watching the last couple of months when the show split, it's still Seth Rollins, number 1. Number 2 is now Dean Ambrose. 3 is Roman Reigns. I cannot get behind Roman Reigns because he lacks the mic skills. But I think he can get the mic skills because in the future he can get some help from his uncle or cousin, get some mic skills because he is kin to the Rock.
Correct. Yeah, he's got that Samoan blood. It's in his blood, so eventually I think it'll come out. Yeah, the thing about him, you're right. There's been no character development for the guy. He's got no catchphrase. He has really no relation to the fans just yet. I feel the same way you do. I can't really relate to the guy just yet. Even Miz I can relate to more, and I don't really like him as much. But I can relate to him. He's got a catchphrase. I get it. I understand his gimmick, and I get it. I don't really know what Roman Reigns' gimmick is. Are you still like B-Shield? Are you B-Shield? Or like, what's going on with you? Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose, just like you said, we know who they are. We can relate because they have gimmicks, right?
Right.
Like, Seth Rollins is, he's got that whole weird gimmick from the 80s, from that one 80s movie. I forget what was the name of it. Anyway, with Kurt Russell. Anyway, that's his gimmick, which is hilarious. And then, of course, we have Dean Ambrose, who has this crazy guy gimmick, which is really odd. We haven't seen a gimmick like this in years. But when is Roman Reigns? Yeah, he's just, I don't know. I don't. Even Corporate Kane, I understand because he has a gimmick, right?
Right.
He has no gimmick, even though he's probably told he has a gimmick by agents and everyone backstage, but he has really no gimmick. So yeah, I agree. He needs more character development for me to kind of pull more into him. I love it. His athleticism is off the chain, just like you say. He's got that Samoan blood. He's going to be good for the next few decades, So.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I completely agree. And this match was no different. These two tore the house down, had a really great match, and it ended up in disqualification because of interference from Seth Rollins and Corporate Kane. Kind of being a thorn in their side. And wow, did this show really end on I didn't expect it to end this way, as far as them standing over Roman Reigns so strong. Because the past few months, the same thing has been happening to him, and it's always been the opposite. He's always gotten every finisher from everybody and then come back and done the spear and the Superman punch, and, it ends with him doing his thing,
They lowered the cage. That splash that Seth Rollins did out top.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that splash was off the chain.
Mm-hmm.
That I saw a news report. I forget which dirt sheet, but it showed where Seth Rollins, when he was reaching in between the cage and the ring, and he was reaching for a chair, it showed that the spike almost impaled him. Actually, it didn't, because you can see where he reached around the spike intentionally to get to the chair, but no one really kind of realized that. But Yeah, that spot where he jumped off the cage, that splash was insane. That was awesome. Kind of made that match too. But yeah, uh, the three of them standing tall. You got Corporate Kane, Seth Rollins, RKO, Randy Orton, all members of the Authority, standing tall at the end of Raw, which is good. Heading into Night of Champions. So this helps Randy Orton have momentum with his feud with Roman Reigns going into Night of Champions. This is great for Seth Rollins, who has a mini feud with Roman Reigns. I'm sorry, Roman Reigns is taking on Seth Rollins at Night of Champions. Who's Randy Orton facing?
Chris Jericho.
That's right. That's right. We said that earlier, didn't we?
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Sorry, fans. Sorry about that. I made a mistake. Yeah, so it's Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Randy Orton, Chris Jericho. Two unbelievable matches. And then you got the tag team match between the Usos and Goldust and Stardust. You have Dolph Ziggler, Intercontinental title, versus Miz, with Damian Mizdow in commentary, or manager.
Rusev.
Right? Rusev and Mark Henry, that's going to be a pretty good. He's going to bring something out of Rusev good. I wonder how they're going to have him beat him, too.
Oh, we got Cesaro against Sheamus for the U.S. Championship.
That's right. And Baron Corbin is waiting in the wings here. He's supposed to be cleared pretty soon here.
Well, we do know that Daniel Bryan is not going to have a second surgery, from what I've heard.
Yeah, that's right.
So
good news.
I'm going to see what they do with him, because you know how they're trying to build up Roman Reigns to be their next guy. So when he comes back, what about Daniel Bryan?
I think he'll keep his spot. I think they'll still have confidence in him.
Yeah, but you know how the fans are at WWE. They can make stuff happen. You know what I'm saying? Look at Batista last year. Okay, he was in the Royal Rumble, and he was supposed to be the baby face going to WrestleMania, and the fans went with that.
Oh yeah. Well, it was. Yeah, and he came around at just the wrong time. It was just he came around during a very small period where no one wanted to see part-timers for a while. Fans were just getting tired of part-timers. For a few months there was just this point where it was like, oh, God, another one? And then you automatically hear, several weeks before the pay-per-view that Batista's locked in to win. You're like, are you kidding me? Like, can you make it at least sort of surprising? So, fans really turned on him, especially that night. He really got it that night. And it just didn't die down from there. So, yeah, you're right. He could wind up in that situation, but I have a feeling he'll handle it better than Batista did. And I think he'll embrace it and become a heel naturally if that happens.
So, I can't see Daniel Bryan against Brock Lesnar.
Oh, I would love that match.
Yeah, but could you see Daniel Bryan beating Brock?
Yeah.
It's not believable.
Chris Benoit did it. Kurt Angle did it. Eddie Guerrero did it.
But Daniel Bryan is a GOAT.
Rey Mysterio. It's pro wrestling.
It is pro wrestling, but I just...
Plus, they're wrestlers. So that would be an amazing match.
It'd be a good match. I didn't say Daniel Bryan couldn't work or anything. I'm just saying he's a very small guy. And if John Cena, the Super Cena, can't beat Brock Lesnar, then how's Daniel Bryan going to do it?
Well, here's the reason why Super Cena couldn't beat Brock Lesnar. He can't wrestle like an amateur wrestler. Like at all. He's just a bodybuilder and a football player. That's all he knows. He doesn't know any martial arts, no wrestling background. All he knows is pro wrestling and football and lifting weights. You put a guy like a shooter, like Daniel Bryan, up, you're going to have a good, really, really, really great match. And they'll look really good I mean, remember those matches between Kurt Angle and Brock,
Oh yes.
and look at how much smaller Kurt was.
Nah, he was small.
But yeah, he was. He was like 230. Daniel Bryan's like 20, 30 pounds lighter than that. But what mattered most is they worked really well together, and they made each other look good. I think Brock will make them look good.
Did Brock break his neck during that match?
Yeah, at WrestleMania, yeah.
Yeah, he done a moonsault top rope, wasn't it?
Shooting star, yeah, he tried that stupid shooting star, which normally he would do really, really good, like perfect every time. But for some reason, that one time at WrestleMania when he tried it, just didn't go well. There are countless videos of him, on the internet, just doing it perfectly. OVW and every other, just like beautiful. Like puts Matt Sydal to shame, and he does it beautiful too. It's amazing. The freaking here, his athleticism. I'm so envious. Oh, can you imagine being like? Be rich. Anyway. Well, yeah. So, getting back to that, yeah, that's kind of why he beat him. I mean, he used wrestling moves against him the whole match, like slams and suplexes. There was nothing he could do. Whereas Daniel Bryan, it would be believable because he's a shooter, he's a wrestler. That's in my opinion. I mean, plus he beat Big Show, he beat Mark Henry in a steel cage for the world title. So we can't really forget that he's already beaten pretty much all the big guys anyway. So this wouldn't really be that different. Only you'd probably make more money for the company in the long run. But I don't think they're going to go that way anyway. You know what it's going to be? I'm going to make a prediction. Here's my prediction: WrestleMania 31, Rock versus Brock, no matter what.
Who?
Rock versus Brock.
Brock versus Brock?
Yeah, Rock. D-Rock. If you smell...
Oh, you said the Rock. I just said Brock. I was like, how could Brock face Brock?
No, Rock versus Brock.
Okay.
Part 2. I just have a feeling no matter what, Vince will go with that. And I think that's the smartest thing they could do, actually, for WrestleMania.
The match I'm really looking forward to at WrestleMania, if we're going to talk about WrestleMania, would be The Undertaker and Sting, if it happens.
That's going to be a great match. That's going to be a great match.
If it happens.
It'll happen. It'll happen.
Because, I mean, you think about it, you got WWE's greatest guy ever, and you have the guy that's never been in WWE, Sting.
And
so
the greatest the greatest wrestler that ever laced up the boots in WCW too. Arguably.
Ric Flair.
I lace up the boots strictly in WCW. Of all time, I'd give it to Rick. But strictly WCW, I would give it to Sting. And only because of his tenure and his loyalty. I respect that.
I really enjoyed Sting when I was growing up. I mean, I was a huge fan of Sting.
Yeah, I remember.
It was Sting and Hulk Hogan.
Yes. Yeah. Sorry.
But you know what's so bad, though? Once I got into wrestling and learned the business, Hulk Hogan is like, who? Why would I even go for somebody like that, I learned what he stood for, and I learned a lot of stuff about him.
Yeah. Unfortunately, a lot of wrestlers are... I don't want to say too much. But yeah, getting into that... Yeah, I agree. Once you start learning when you get behind the scenes and you start meeting, wrestlers and talking to wrestlers and learning about other wrestlers, then you're like, oh, crap. Man. Then, in a weird way, you kind of have to respect him because he really can turn it on, when the camera's on. And be a likable person, right? Whereas behind the scenes, he's known as being just a complete ass and dickhead. And you can ask Macho Man Randy Savage about that. You can Google any of his videos about that.
Well, I was about to say you can't ask Macho Man right now. He's kind of passed away.
Well, you can ask him. He might not answer though.
Speaking of passing away, we learned sad news that Sean O'Hara passed away.
Yeah. This is really sad because in a weird way I have to kind of admit that I kind of forgot about Sean O'Hare and some of those guys who were in like the later day version of WCW and were around in WWE but not really kind of memorable. And I feel bad because Sean O'Hare was one of those guys who never really kind of got his big break that he deserved, or even his big push that he really deserved in the business, because he was one of those rare commodities that actually had the it factor and never was taken seriously. And it's unfortunate because you'll never find a big man like him that could wrestle like he could, that could talk on the mic like he could, so efficiently and really good. And yeah, so for those who don't remember him, he was a mainstay in a tag team with Mark Jindrak during the years of WCW, and they continued that on into the WWE when they bought them out for a while, and then he had other tag teams as well. 2004 is when he was released. So yeah, he had a mark on the business, and he will be missed. That's all I have to say about Sean O'Hara. May he rest in peace. And you have any thoughts?
I'm gonna go back on the network and watch some of the WCW stuff. His later when they were in the Invasion, if any of y'all remember the Invasion angle.
Yep.
Him and Chuck Palumbo, they were a great tag team. I'm trying to think of the group they were in back in the WCW days.
Oh, so many. Because he went back and forth to him and Mark Jindrak and him and Chuck Palumbo. Chuck Palumbo came around. Well, I did something wrong.
But the Invasion angle, they were good in it, I think.
I actually enjoyed the Invasion angle. I actually wanted it to last longer than it did, but it did kind of end where it probably needed to. But I wanted it to last a little longer than it did. I actually liked it. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I liked it because it had the ECW guys in,
Oh yeah. Okay. Yes. So his first tag team partner was Mark Jindrak. And they didn't even have a tag team name. I didn't know that. So they were O'Hare and Jindrak. And they faced Chronic and Vampiro for a while. And then the two of them formed what was known as the Natural Born Killers. And
that's it, right there.
And they pulled in Chuck Palumbo, Johnny Stamboli, Sean Stasiak, Mike Sanders, and Reno. And they were mentored by Nash. Wow, I forgot about that. So yeah, there was the Natural Born Killers all the way up until 2001, and then it just stayed O'Hare and what's his name? They were like I can't tell. O'Hare then started teaming with Palumbo from that point. Sorry, and that was pretty much when WCW folded. They were bought out, and then they kind of stuck together throughout his tenure as a tag team, him with Palumbo. But I do remember, here are some. I do remember in 2003 was when they finally decided to give him a gimmick. and it was a devil's advocate gimmick. Oh yeah, here it is all over the Wikipedia. I remember this. This crappy gimmick from the. It was almost like a rib, you know, that didn't match him at all. The guy was scary looking already. You know, he had the look. He wasn't ugly, you know, so he could be marketed well. And he was business savvy too. You know, he owned several businesses throughout his life too. Yeah, he always got in the WWE. He got the low end of the stick, and I think he should have been used better. You know, personally, my opinion is I think he was better than Chuck Palumbo, and I think he should have got pushed more because Palumbo ended up getting kind of pushed a little bit more. I remember he had that motorcycle gimmick. Remember that?
Yeah.
He was over for about a month or so, and then WWE put the kibosh on it and pushed him back down to lower card status. But yeah, in my opinion, O'Haire was one of those rare big guys who could actually work, and he had the body too. You know.
I'll tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna blame it on Obama.
Yeah, he just made another wonderful announcement. Great. Yeah. Yeah, so my condolences are with him and his family. Sean O'Haire, may he rest in peace. He did leave a pretty good mark on the business, in my opinion. And I think he did well for himself outside the business, contrary to what I'm reading online about what he might have thought about himself. I mean, if you get into mixed martial arts and kickboxing and you also own your own gym, you own your own hair salon, I think you're pretty successful, you know? It means you're pretty motivated, and I guess he didn't see himself that way.
Well, we see the business kill a lot of guys, so I mean, you know.
Yeah, he did supposedly suffer from depression and substance abuse, which is very, very common in a lot of ex-pro wrestlers and even some of the older pro wrestlers who are still around. So yeah, I agree. Unfortunately, he might have learned how to do that stuff in the business. But yeah, so condolences off to his family. Well, what else is going on in the news of wrestling?
Well, let's talk about something else that's not going around in the news, but it was something I talked about months ago before we started BWN.
Okay.
CM Punk. I predicted it was all work.
You did. You called it months ago. I couldn't believe it at the time, but apparently it looks like you were right, and it looks like maybe this is just speculation, just a rumor, guys, nothing official, of course, but it looks like the altercation between, or the issues with CM Punk and WWE were real at first, maybe for months, but it looks like this reach out with CM Punk is not just about getting paid royalties and fees for his character, his likeness, and all that other stuff. It looks like he might be looking to come back in some type of way. So we'll see. But not sure, though. Maybe.
Am I happy about it? No, I can't. No.
Well,
I wish you'd stay gone.
Well, again, that could be a rumor because remember they did take all his merchandise off the shelf. So I don't know. Maybe that could just be completely crap. I don't know. But, like you, I don't really care to see him back. I don't really, I'm happy with him away.
Because it started out real, and now he's wanting to come back. So what happens when he gets mad again? He's going to walk off when cry like a little baby.
Basically. And it looks like it could have been his way of kind of getting over all the years.
No, I wouldn't mind seeing him have one match with Kenta,
That would be awesome. And him going under.
Because I don't see Kenta staying in NXT long.
No, it doesn't look like they're going to let that happen at all.
He's going to be huge.
Yeah, big time. They're definitely going to get behind him, and really. Which honestly, it's about time they do that with an Asian or Japanese wrestler. Finally, like they give him a gimmick and they get behind him. They don't give him some type of weird, stereotypical, borderline racist gimmick that completely, like demeans his heritage. They say be yourself, and they're letting him be himself, which is what he's been his whole career. He's not his gimmick hasn't been like a character gimmick. It's always been sort of a realistic gimmick. So yeah, I'm looking at an article now on KDRAmasters.com about, and it's unconfirmed, but they're trying to say that it is confirmed. I'm not sure if it is. And again, this might be a joke on the site. I don't know, but looks like this. They're saying CM Punk is definitely trying to come back, and he's trying to leverage his way into a Sting match for WrestleMania. But I don't know if this is true or not. So take it with a grain of salt. Interesting. He leaves the business for himself, and now he's trying to go into business for himself. What a really great revolutionary pro wrestler. What else we got here?
Let's talk about Bray Wyatt's next feud. Who it's going to be?
Ooh. So who do you think it's going to be?
Well, Bray Wyatt's been here for what, a year, 2 years, year and a half, something like that. And
yeah.
He's not held a title yet.
Right.
So I would go with probably either the Intercontinental title or the U.S. title.
Okay, I can see that.
Sheamus against Bray Wyatt, or Ziggler against Bray Wyatt. But I think it's going to be Bad News Barrett comes back and fights for the Intercontinental title or the U.S. Championship. I don't know which one yet, but I can see him going after Sheamus.
Ooh.
So I think it's going to be Bray Wyatt against Dolph.
I would like that feud. Honestly, it doesn't matter. As long as Bray Wyatt's in it, I kind of enjoy it. Because just his character alone brings something unique to the feud,
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
We also have learned that Brock Lesnar's new opponent after Now Champions is no longer going to be John Cena. It's going to be a guy that's past his, he's not going to be a Brock. So, I wish he would, but Big Show, I'm sorry.
Yeah, this is his third time doing the job for Brock. We just saw it this year at Royal Rumble. And then it happened, years ago when they had a great feud, actually, back in, I think it was 2004. And it was also the same time period where they did the spot with the ring breaking apart.
That's classic.
Classic stuff. But that was during the time they had a great feud, and then Big Show did the job. He did the right thing. He helped put over Brock. And he did it again in January with one match. And looks like he's going to do it again with maybe one more match at some Survivor Series. I don't know. I would rather put him against two people.
I hope they only have like 2 matches max. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'd rather them put more people into the fold, to be honest.
But I feel sorry for Paul Heyman going into that feud. Because I see him getting chokeslammed quite a few times on Monday Night Raw.
Or getting that
knockout punch, yeah.
Knockout punch.
I think if you hit Brock with it, he might knock Brock down, but Brock ain't gonna take the pin. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Exactly.
It's gonna be the one time it don't work.
Well, I don't know. You know what? If it does happen, and it's probably going to happen at Survivor Series, we'll probably milk it for a little bit. Something tells me we'll have probably a match that'll rival the 2012 match between Sheamus and Big Show at Survivor Series. Something
Well,
tells me this time around, Big Show's not going to let him squash him again. Remember, he squashed him at Royal Rumble, basically.
speaking of Survivor Series, I wish that somebody in WWE would just watch our show because I would love to see them go back to the old Survivor Series when they actually had teams fighting other teams all night long.
Right. Including the champions, including everybody. Yeah, it didn't matter.
I miss that kind of stuff. I mean, it was interesting. We seen some great teams out of that. We had the Heenan family. You know, that was classic stuff. But also, there's a time back in WCW, I think it was a Clash of Champions. It's going to bring back some memories right here for you. They had a tag team tournament, okay? And, like, they didn't have the actual teams together. They draw them out of the, they had a slaughter thing, and they pulled names out of it. And that, who they draw was like, you say, Scott Steiner and Sid Justice, you know, Sid Vicious, against Rick Steiner, you know, and Lex Luger. I can't remember the teams, but I'm just saying, I wish they would do something like that for a tag team division just one time.
Yeah, and you know what's funny is that kind of stuff goes on all the time in the independent wrestling world. You know, I believe Ring of Honor's done that a few times. New Japan does it all the time. They always do that in Japan, actually, mixing the teams up. Of course, down in Mexico, that's normal. But for some reason, WWE, doesn't like doing that. I don't know why. I always thought that was kind of strange. But yeah, you're right. These are the kind of things we need to see.
I mean, they could replace a crappy pay-per-view that don't mean nothing, you know, and replace it with War Games.
Wow, War Games. That would be awesome. If they brought back War Games and took away like Hell in a Cell or Battleground or something like that, yeah, that'd be nice. Or replace something with World War III. I miss World War III, man.
3 rings with the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, I miss that because it was always about the winner getting that #1 title shot for Starrcade, you know, in December. And yeah, I miss those times. I miss that kind of stuff. You don't see that nowadays. I don't know what's going on with the tag team division now. They keep breaking up teams and putting other teams back together, and not allowing those teams to kind of grow and develop. You know.
Right.
So, yeah.
I mean, it's just stuff I kind of enjoyed when growing up. You know, I watch that kind of stuff, and I like it. I mean, I think it could go over today. You see John Cena put a team together of superheroes, you know, kids are going to love it.
Right.
That's who they're actually trying to product to, which John Cena made a good point the other night. He says when dads come with their kids to shows, the kid will be chatting for me, but the dad be telling me I suck. But then after the show, he comes to me and says, "Hey, I appreciate what you do for my kid." You know, that right there says a lot. He acknowledged that us older fans can't stand him. He knows that, but he knows he's doing it for the kids.
Exactly. I'm glad he knows it. Well, yeah, of course he knows that. You know, all his merchandise is very kid friendly, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Well, he even mentioned the people on the internet.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
So he did not.
This is something he sees when he wakes up. He sees it when he goes to bed. I mean, I would hate to have his access to his Twitter account because I'm pretty sure he gets some pretty horrible messages from people all the time. And a lot of it's not really warranted, you know. He doesn't exactly deserve all of it. I do believe in the past there's probably a lot of times where he could have spoken up when it came to squashing certain wrestlers or putting certain wrestlers over. And I think he probably didn't try too hard, knowing that his spot was.
But what people don't understand is we haven't bashed John Cena really, but what I'm going to point out real quick. It's not John Cena's fault, though. He's doing as he's told from the WWE, you know. He's not allowed to go out there, and he's protected. So they don't want him going out and do hot spots and stuff.
Yeah, to an extent, he's not allowed to do too much. But to be honest, if John Cena went off the cuff, he wouldn't be punished, and he knows that. But he's also a company man, so
I mean, if you may go back and watch anything from Ohio Valley Wrestling when he was up there, he could actually work.
yeah, oh yeah. Even out here in Cali, some of his matches out here when he wrestles down here, he can work. Um, I don't know what happened. Yes, he's limited in the ring, but he's also very clumsy. So
I know that Vince tells his guys he don't want them to go out and do the same thing in like other matches. He wants stuff. So I mean, he can't go out there and do suplex, body slam. Yeah, somebody else is going to do it in their match. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So when he main event, there's not much to do. Because everything's been done in the last 3 hours.
Right. Right.
So I mean, he wasn't going to think about that kind of stuff.
He's great. He's not that great of a wrestler now, though.
Hey, he's got my skills.
He's gotten better over 12 years on the mic. I'll put it that way. He's good now. He didn't start out that way.
And
he's
gotten better. He can sell.
He can sell. He can sell. But to be honest, yes, he does have discretion over certain decisions that take place with storylines, with feuds, with rivalries. Mr. McMahon comes to him and says, who do you want to work with? And he'll give him a name, and that'll be the person who'll work with him for like 3 months, put him over, and that'll be it. Spit him out. This happens with Undertaker. This happens with all the top guys. This happened with Stone Cold, happened with Rock, happened with Triple H. When Vince trusts you, he will acknowledge that by letting you decide a lot of things. Now, yes, your schedule is set. You have to do a lot of appearances for the company in multiple ways. Yes, yes, yes. Ultimately, John Cena still does have say in a lot of things that go on in the company, especially when it comes to his character. I'm pretty sure he wouldn't have been around this long without it. He has say in all his merchandise. We learned this on Total Divas. He admitted that. So he's not a fool. He understands the business, and he knows when to go hard and when not to, and when to put someone over right and when not to. And I'll put it that way. I would be dumb to think that all he does is sit back and the company just tells him what to do, and he just says yes, 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 yes. That's dumb, because if you sat and watched Total Divas and seen some of the clips they've shown of him popping in and out of certain people's offices, that's not what's happening. He's in someone's ear, if you know what I mean, and he's getting himself over. Remember, he idolizes who? Who's his idol?
Hulk Hogan.
Of course. So yeah, he's in the business for himself. It would be foolish for me to think otherwise. Yeah, it sounds great that he's like respectable and honored, and he does all these wonderful things for the business. But come on, he's in business for himself, and he knows he's protected. He knows he's safe. So he'll say yes to certain things he knows will not damage his reputation, especially amongst management, which is why you have to stay in their ear all the time, because they change their mind a lot, right? He's not the cash cow because he's so like loyal and all that stuff. He's the cash cow because they motivate him. If John Cena's in trouble, he can call Vince McMahon, and Vince McMahon can talk him down out of a situation, right? If, let's say, Xavier Woods called Vince McMahon with trouble. He was depressed, angry. I can't go to work tomorrow, Vince. I don't know what to do. I'm so much pressure. You guys are putting so much pressure on me. What do you think Vince McMahon would say to him?
You're fired.
Now, what do you think he'd say to John Cena?
Oh, nothing. Take the day off. Take the week off.
Yeah. John Cena knows this. We all know this. This happens in NFL. This happens in the NBA. It's not anything different. Once you get to a certain level, you get privilege. He knows he has privilege, and he uses it. Hulk Hogan used privilege for years. I mean, remember the situation when Bret Hart came to WCW? Hulk Hogan used his privilege. Now, of course, he had it written in his contract. We're pretty sure John Cena's not that dumb either. I'm not saying he has 100% creative control, but I'm pretty sure he can kind of wedge himself in there a little bit to make sure his character is safe. But I will say, yes, he has some talent in the ring. He's great on the mic, but he is still clumsy. For the most part, he's safe, and that's only because he does the same moves all the time, which means he's only perfected really those moves. And the reason we know that is because when he does newer moves, he does them improperly. Remember the Hurricane Rana he did against him? You know, I gave him credit for trying, but he didn't practice. He just did it. You got to practice those moves, right? You got to look right. You know, it's all about technique.
Speaking of bloppers about John Cena, let's take it back to last week. He gets out of the ring and grabs a fan sign that says, "You can't see me." And on the other side of the sign, it says, "Tag me in." So John Cena gets to the ring and goes to the camera side, and he holds the sign up, but he didn't hold the sign up that says, "You can't see me." It says, "Tag me in." I started rolling on that one.
Oh, that's great. I don't want to sound like I'm bashing the dude, because I'm not. I just want to make sure, in my mind, this is how I see it, as truthful as possible. But I wouldn't sit back and be like, well, you know, he's just following orders, because we all know he's most likely not following every single order. You know, he's probably been able to say, well, I don't want to do business with that guy, and probably been able to get his way. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I wouldn't say he's probably, you know, a yes man. Which, by the way, this is not a bad thing for him to be like, you know, I don't want to do business with someone or have, you know, some type of privilege. That's not a bad thing. I'm just saying I think we should all acknowledge that. That's realistic. That's what happens in, you know, other organizations as well. That's how you treat your baby. You know, you give them what they want. Keep them happy. You know, Vince kept Hope happy for a while. You know, all those wonderful stories about from Macho Man about Hulk Hogan. You know. Even Hulk had to slip away every now and then, but he tried to keep himself in other storylines. Macho Man talked to all about that. It's so crazy, and that's, you know, John Cena. He's smart in that way. He's business savvy in that way. You know what I mean? So I do give him credit. I don't want to sound like a bash. I still respect him. The 15-time champ. I can't say anything about that. You know, that's amazing. It's unheard of. But at the same time, you know, come on. You know.
If he beat Brock in, you know, 2 weeks, that'd make him he'd knock Flair out.
Yep. And I think it's going to happen eventually. I think he will just keep on going and winning gold. And
I don't think so. I don't think. I think we can see close to the end of his career coming up.
I would hope, to be honest.
Because, I mean, I think he might actually go to Hollywood.
He needs to.
I don't, because, I mean, Flair's still around, you know what I'm saying? And it's kind of disrespectful to go ahead and beat his title reign. Wait until after Man is gone, you know, before you beat it.
Right. Yeah. And to be honest, I don't know if Cena actually had anything, you know, to do with him winning it at Money in the Bank, because his face was very, very, like, he wasn't happy to hold those belts, right? I don't know if he was acting or what, but to me it looked like he was, you know, it could have been one of those situations where it was forced on him.
You know, you mentioned about that Spike thing. I'm sitting over here watching that. Jeff of the Seven Rollins about getting.
Oh yeah. You see him around it, right?
No, I seen him back. He just slid out of it.
Right, but you see him move around it to reach for the chair.
Hold on.
Because it went under his armpit. Right here. He did that.
Right now. No, he didn't go around it.
He had to, because it would have went through him.
I'll send it to you after we get done with the broadcast.
I have it on Diver.
I'll tell you what. After we're out with the broadcast, we'll tweet this so everybody can see what happened.
where everybody can see. It's on the GIF, and I have it on Diver. To me, it looks like he clearly sees the spot, right, coming down, right, because he knows already, because he's seen the cage be lowered before many times. So he sees the spike, and he knows it's in the way, so he knows to go around it, and he does it. So
Okay.
that's how it looks to me when I watch the whole thing. But, uh-oh, we got a new chat. Oh, that's the...
Yeah, that's the link.
Yeah, see, it goes right under his armpit. And then he moves around it.
That was close, though.
Yeah, it was still close as hell. Because you can see it push against his flesh. But look at it on DVR, because this is too choppy. You gotta actually see his movements.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here just watching over and over and over. I'm like, I didn't even notice that on the Raw.
Yeah, I didn't either till I saw this on E-Wrestling News a few days ago, but or yesterday. But I looked at it on DVR and I was like, no, he really knows what's there. Personally, he's working. It looks like he's working because, come on.
It looked like he got hung up on the apron. But he turned, even if he had a mistake right there, he turned around with the cage when he came out the top of the cage.
Oh, yeah. He did great. Oh, yeah, he did wonderful. That was awesome. That was really good. That cage was definitely used on Raw as far as the high spots go.
So, is there anything else you'd like to talk about?
Nothing else. Look out for some more content from us, guys, over the next few weeks and months. We're trying to make BWNtv into a real TV brand here. Not necessarily a television brand, definitely an internet brand for sure, but a place where you can see more content. So, look for more stuff, more segments, more videos. Look for more videos from Big Daddy J himself. Look for more videos from me on the YouTube channel and on our Twitter as we talk more about it. Tomorrow, look for some Throwback Thursday tweets, and I'll post a video up tomorrow discussing some pretty hilarious wrestling rumors that are going around.
Throwback Thursday. Throwback Thursday.
Yeah, I just said that. We'll have some Throwback Thursday tweets. So I'll send those out. And that's really it, unless you have anything. I'm excited for Raw.
We're looking for more people to come and join us and that wants to make some videos.
Oh, yeah. If you want to help out, join VWNtv. Let us know. Just contact us on our YouTube page or join us or follow us on Google+. You'll see our link for our email. You can contact us there as well. If you contact us on Facebook, our links are there on our YouTube channel as well. And also on our Twitter, just send us a message if you want to join. Just be of reasonable age, have some interesting knowledge on wrestling, and actually like and love wrestling. That's all that really matters. But yeah, we're looking for journalists and reporters to kind of help us out and probably even have their own shows and segments and join the whole BWNtv network,
Yeah, because I'm really wanting to start doing shoot interviews.
Yeah.
That's what I really want to do is start getting down and dirty.
Yeah, we definitely want to start doing shoot interviews and a whole bunch of really cool stuff. Bring you guys lots of really interesting content, all definitely pro wrestling related, of course.
We're trying to contact people right now to come and do interviews with us. Real wrestlers, like there's a few names. I'm not going to mention them right now because I don't want to jinx it.
Right, nothing fully confirmed just yet, but we definitely are out there speaking with a lot of guys in the industry, a lot of ladies as well. Hopefully we can get some interviews secured pretty soon and have some more interesting stuff to bring to you guys in the coming weeks and months. So look out for a new fundraising campaign that we're going to start, a new crowdfunding campaign that we're probably going to start on Indiegogo probably the next few weeks or maybe the next month or so. We'll have that locked out. and then we'll start promoting that. We're trying to raise awareness and raise some money, so that way we can actually start expanding our network and actually being able to hire folks instead of having volunteers. So that'll be awesome. So you could donate when we start that. So look forward to that coming weeks, maybe the next month or so. And of course, more changes as we continue to think and continue to evolve and get better. So I'm definitely enjoying this, and I'm definitely enjoying this week with Big Daddy J. Big Daddy J, you have any other things to talk about?
If y'all have any questions real quick while we're still broadcasting, go ahead and send them on YouTube.
For you guys that are there, just go ahead and type up a question on the comments down below if you're on YouTube, or on the side there if you're looking on the side. If you're joined us on Google Plus and you're watching us live on the Hangout, and you're one of the viewers here, just join us in the chat. Just start typing away and give us some questions. Or you can send us some questions on Twitter as well. BWN Maine.
And if we don't see your question or not, we'll answer tomorrow on Twitter or Facebook, or actually both of them. But I've enjoyed the show, Brian, and I gotta say I've actually enjoyed Raw this past week. The most things that stood out to me was the Stardust and Goldust and the Bellas, of course, and the Bray Wyatt match, and the promo by John Cena and Paul Heyman. That's the most things that I really enjoyed. I'm also my first thing I actually enjoyed was the NXT guys. They stole the show for me.
Yeah, they did an excellent job. I gotta tell you, whenever they put the NXT guys on TV, they really show the roster how to go. And it goes back to what you said about John Cena. It kind of shows how they limit some of the guys on the main roster as well, which is interesting.
Yeah, because when they come up, they won't be doing that same stuff.
No, yeah, don't expect to see that in every match.
No.
Yeah.
Pay-per-view.
Yeah, but we're lucky to see what we get now.
Join us on the WWE Network Thursday night, $9.99 to watch the NXT TakeOver 2.
It's gonna be awesome. That's gonna be great.
Yeah, I'm watching it. I'm gonna watch it tomorrow night.
We're gonna see Ric Flair's daughter as well, Charlotte. She's the current reigning NXT champion for the women's division, or I'm sorry, NXT Divas champion, I should say. And she'll be defending her title tomorrow, I believe, against Summer Rae or Natalya. And Tyson Kidd will be in action as well, who's done really good in NXT, of course. But he's a sensational wrestler by himself anyway, so he's doing really good down there. A lot of good stuff. Sami Zayn is one of my favorites. I like Sami Zayn. And the Ascension is a great tag team. I like their gimmick. They were on Main Event for some of you that didn't see that, so go and check that out on the WWE Network for $9.99 or on their YouTube channel as well. Mm-hmm. That was a good match. I looked into that. So yeah, that's all I have to talk about. If you don't have anything, I say we go ahead and
we'll go ahead.
You see any other questions out there?
I don't see no questions yet, so I guess we can go ahead and cut it short this week.
Yeah, I'm just refreshing. We got some more followers. That's awesome. And thank you guys. We do want to say thank you guys so much because, you guys are actually making this really possible. You guys are out there watching. We know you're watching. Thank you, though, on Twitter for bringing us up to 500 followers. We're now up to 502, which is amazing. We started this thing off in June. Or April or May or June, I believe. Not that long ago. June, sorry. And here we are now. So thank you guys so much. You made this possible. Just keep believing in us. Keep on following. Keep on retweeting. Keep on sending us messages and questions. Keeping us engaged, But again, thank you. And a couple other things. Make sure you check out our logos. We got some new logos there, as you see. There's this one. Sorry. Down. Here we go. There we go. Now I know how to do this. That's one of our new logos. If you go to our Twitter page, you'll see one of our other logos, or on our YouTube channel page as well, or our Google Plus page, or our Facebook, and you'll see the other logo we have as well, which is pretty cool. It's a computer monitor with the new VWNtv mini logo that's on the inside. So kind of to plug the internet brand that we're trying to create here for you guys. So yeah, I don't see any other questions in the chat. I don't see anything on Twitter here. I just refreshed nothing. You see anything on YouTube?
I do not.
All right. Well, since there are no questions this week, Big Daddy J, it was wonderful speaking with you again, talking about pro wrestling.
As always.
Talking to you again next week.
As always.
All right, guys. So same time, same channel, 10 p.m. Wednesday nights Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. Please join our discussion live. We'll start our discussion right after talking about the results of Raw and all the other wonderful shows that take place in wrestling. So please join us live next Wednesday night. Do not forget, set your calendar. Subscribe to us on YouTube so you can stay updated. Also follow us on Twitter, follow us on Facebook, and yeah, see you next week. Bye.